Welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving into a world of magic and fae and, well, a whole lot of drama.
Yeah, a lot.
We are exploring A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Specifically, just the first book.
Yeah, so just the first book in the series, just to be clear.
It's a good one, though, to start with.
Oh, definitely. I think it lays such a great foundation for the rest of the series.
Yeah, like it just sets the stage and then boom, it just takes off from there.
Exactly. So if you haven't read it yet,
Let me pause this and go read it.
yeah, you might want to come back to this after you've experienced the world for yourself.
All right, so are you ready to unravel this world of Prithian?
I am so ready. Let's talk about Prithian to start.
Okay.
Okay, so Prithian is this magical land, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's divided into these 7 courts.
Each ruled by a high lord.
Yes, and each court is so unique. I mean, they're like embodying these primal forces.
You've got spring, summer, autumn, night.
Mm-hmm. Though we don't get to see all of them in detail in this first book.
Right, it's like little hints and glimpses.
But it makes you want to know more, like, what are their powers?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
What are their personalities like?
What are their courts like?
Exactly, and this division into courts immediately makes you think about power struggles, right?
Oh, for sure. These high lords, they're not just rulers.
No.
They're like forces of nature.
Yes.
And they could clash.
And they probably do at some point, right?
Oh, I'm sure of it.
So then you have this wall.
This magical barrier separating Prithian from the human realm.
It's huge. It's like this constant reminder of the war that happened between humans and fairies centuries ago.
And the treaty that's supposed to be keeping the peace now.
But it's a fragile peace, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that fairies can slip through those rifts in the wall, and they come into the human world.
And not always with good intentions.
Definitely not.
So it's like this constant tension, like the past isn't really the past.
It's right there simmering beneath the surface.
Ready to erupt.
Well, yeah. And speaking of things simmering beneath the surface, there's this whole thing about ash.
Oh, yes, ash.
It's mentioned as a vulnerability for fairies.
Like an Achilles heel.
Exactly. And it hints at how humans were able to fight back against them in the past.
So what is it about ash?
Right? Is it just a physical weakness?
Or is there something more to it?
Or like something symbolic?
Ooh, I like that.
Definitely makes you think.
And then we have the blight.
This mysterious force that's corrupting magic.
Weakening the fairies.
And it's spreading.
It's like a slow-moving plague.
And what's scary is that it could potentially cross over into the human world.
Right, so it's not just a fairy problem anymore.
No, it's a threat to everyone.
And what caused it?
That's the big question.
Is it a natural force or is it something more?
Like a symptom of something darker happening within Prithian.
Ooh, that's an interesting thought.
It's a world full of secrets, that's for sure.
Okay, so we've got this world full of magic and danger.
And secrets.
And secrets, yes. But who are the characters who inhabit this world?
Well, let's start with Fair, our protagonist.
She's a huntress. She's tough. She's resourceful.
Yeah, she has to be. She's had to take care of her family after her father's financial ruin.
And she doesn't shy away from hard work or difficult decisions.
Nope. She's pragmatic and resilient.
But the fairies underestimate her because she's human.
Big mistake.
Right, big mistake. And then we have Tamlin High, Lord of the Spring Court.
Powerful, enigmatic.
And he can shapeshift into a beast.
Implied to be a wolf.
Yes, which adds this whole other layer of intrigue to his character.
Definitely. It suggests this wildness within him.
A darkness, maybe?
And his past is full of tragedy.
The loss of his family shapes him.
That makes him cautious, guarded.
But he's also honorable.
Deeply so.
And then there's Amarantha.
Oh boy, Amarantha.
The ultimate villain.
She's power hungry.
Ah.
She's cruel.
She's taking control of Prithian.
She's holding the other High Lords captive.
Stripping them of their power.
She's a force to be reckoned with.
And her curse on Tamlin.
Oh yeah, that curse.
It's twisted.
It's this game she's playing.
She thinks she's so clever.
She believes love is a weakness.
But we'll see about that.
We will.
So Fair, she stumbles into this whole conflict.
Unknowingly.
She kills a fairy thinking it's a wolf.
And that's how she ends up in Prithian.
Taken as punishment.
And becomes Tamlin's captive.
Well, at first...
Then things get a little more complicated.
A little more complicated is an understatement.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So are we ready to talk about some of the key moments that will shape Fair's fate?
Oh, I think we have to now. You've got me hooked.
All right, then let's do it. Okay, so Fair's in Prithian now, right? Under the mountain with Tamlin.
Yeah, in his fancy manner.
Luxurious, but definitely unsettling. I mean, she's a captive.
Surrounded by secrets and the whole blight thing looming over everything.
Definitely not a relaxing vacation.
And she doesn't exactly get a warm welcome either.
No, not really.
Especially from Lucien.
Oh, Lucien, he's something else.
With his snarky comments and that fox mask.
You never know what he's thinking.
It's like he's always testing Fair.
Oh, yeah, trying to figure her out.
But then there's that scene in the art gallery.
Oh, yes, that scene.
It's like a turning point for them.
For Fair and Lucien.
Yeah, she sees this whole other side of Prithian.
A world of beauty and color.
And it sparks something in her.
A reminder of the good things in life.
Yeah, and for Tamlin, I think it's a way for him to connect with her.
To share something that's important to him.
A moment of vulnerability, maybe.
It's subtle, but it shifts things between them.
They start to open up to each other.
They go on hunts together.
They share meals.
And there's definitely an attraction building.
But it's all happening under the shadow of Amarantha's curse.
And the secrets Tamlin is keeping.
And then comes Calanmai.
Well, Calanmai.
This grand fairy celebration that takes a dark turn.
Yeah, it exposes Fair to the raw power of the fairy world.
The beauty and the brutality.
And we meet Rysand.
Oh, Rysand.
High Lord of the Night Court.
He makes quite an entrance.
He definitely knows how to make an impression.
And he's so different from Tamlin.
Where Tamlin is reserved, Rysand is bold.
He's seductive. He's dangerous.
And Fair is both drawn to him and terrified of him.
And during Calanmai, we finally learn the truth about Amarantha's curse.
The stakes get real.
Tamlin needs a human girl to truly fall in love with him.
To break the curse.
And Fair is caught in the middle.
Her feelings for Tamlin become so much more complicated.
It's not just about attraction anymore.
Her love could literally save him.
And Prithian.
The pressure is on.
But then Tamlin sends Fair back to the human realm.
He says it's for her safety.
But it feels like he's giving up.
Like he's lost hope.
And Fair is miserable back in the human world.
It's not her home anymore.
She tries to go back to her old life.
But it feels empty.
Like she's left something behind.
Nothing important.
And then she discovers the blight has crossed over.
And the fairies.
It's a harsh reality check.
She can't escape this.
Her connection to Prithian is too strong.
And she makes a choice.
A brave choice.
She returns to Prithian.
Knowing the danger.
But it's not the Prithian she left.
Tamlin's estate is in ruins.
Amarantha's grip has tightened.
And she encounters the Aetor.
That thing is nightmare fuel.
Seriously.
This is a darker Prithian now.
And Fair is taken captive.
By Amarantha.
She's brought to Amarantha's stronghold.
And forced to endure these horrible trials.
They're brutal.
Designed to break her.
But Fairy doesn't give up.
She's stronger than she realizes.
She draws on this inner strength.
She fights back.
Not just for herself.
For Tamlin.
For Lucien.
For Prithian.
And Rysand is there.
Always lurking in the shadows.
He torments her.
But he also helps her.
It's confusing.
His motivations are a mystery.
Is he playing some long game?
We don't know yet.
But there's this scene where he introduces Fair to music.
Oh, that scene is beautiful.
It's like a moment of escape for her.
A reminder of beauty in the midst of darkness.
And it shows this connection between Fair and Rysand.
A connection that goes beyond the physical.
They understand each other's pain.
Their resilience.
And then we come to the climax.
The moment of truth.
Fair has to make a choice.
A choice that could cost her everything.
She has to declare her love for Tamlin.
In front of Amarantha and the whole court.
To save him.
It's heartbreaking.
Because you know she's sacrificing herself.
And it sets off a chain of events that will change everything. Well, Amarantha isn't too happy about Fair's declaration of love.
Yeah, she's furious.
I mean, she's enraged. She feels betrayed and humiliated.
And in a moment of blind rage, she tries to kill Fair.
But then
Rysand steps in.
He shields Fair with his own body.
And reveals his true power as High Lord of the Night Court.
Whoa, what a twist.
Right, all this time we thought he was the villain.
The manipulator.
The one to be feared.
And suddenly he's a protector.
And his power, it's incredible.
He unleashes this raw, untamed magic.
Tamlin joins the fight too in his beast form.
And together they defeat Amarantha.
Tamlin delivers the final blow.
But it's a bittersweet victory.
Fair's broken.
Both physically and emotionally.
Boy, she's been through so much.
And then she learns about the bargain Rysand made to save her.
A bargain that binds her to the Night Court.
Forever.
So she escapes Amarantha only to find herself tied to Rysand.
It's a huge cliffhanger.
It makes you question everything.
Was Rysand playing us all along?
Was he always on Fair's side?
Or is there something else going on?
I mean, we only saw him through Fair's eyes.
Colored by her fear and distrust.
But now, with Amarantha gone,
and the truth revealed,
we see Rysand in a new light.
Maybe he was protecting Fair all along.
Maybe he's not the villain we thought he was.
It makes you rethink everything.
About Rysand, about the Night Court, about Prithian itself.
It's like the whole story flips on its head.
And suddenly the lines between good and evil are blurred.
Camlin, the supposed hero.
He's flawed, he's controlling.
While Rysand, shrouded in darkness.
He acts to protect Fair.
And challenged as a tyrant.
It definitely makes you think.
About power, about morality, about sacrifice.
And for Fair, it's a strange kind of freedom.
She's free from Amaranta.
But bound to the Night Court.
A court known for its shadows and secrets.
So where does this leave her?
What will her future hold?
Will she find her place in the Night Court?
Will she embrace her new reality?
I guess we'll have to read the next book to find out.
I can't wait.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into A Court of Thorns and Roses, what are your final thoughts?
Well, I think this book is a great example of how a story can subvert your expectations.
Yeah, it makes you question everything you thought you knew.
And it leaves you wanting more.
Definitely. So to our listeners, what resonated most with you in this deep dive?
What are you most excited to explore further in this world?
Let us know in the comments, and until next time, keep those pages turning.